Welcome to The Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled you're joining us today because, well, we're taking the guesswork right out of navigating the North Dakota Department of Transportation's online system. If you've ever felt that familiar cold sweat breaking out just thinking about dealing with a state DMV website, you are exactly where you need to be. We're going to break this whole thing down step by step so you can navigate the NDDOT portal with total confidence. Let's get right into it. So, are you worried about your driver's license status in North Dakota and want to know instantly if it's active or expired? Stay tuned to learn exactly how you can check it online in minutes, completely hassle-free. We've actually combed through all the official NDDOT documentation to bring you the precise steps you need to take right now. Okay, let's dive into this. Knowing your status isn't just about getting some peace of mind, right? It's really about protecting yourself legally and financially. Driving on a suspended license in North Dakota? That leads to severe penalties that can and will quickly compound. And depending on the infraction, getting your license reinstated definitely isn't free. Things like a failure to appear, lack of insurance, child support arrears, or accumulating 12 or more points on your record, that's going to hit you with a $50 reinstatement fee. And for more severe infractions, say a DUI, blowing over the legal BAC limit, or refusing a chemical test, that fee doubles straight to $100. Regularly checking your status is what keeps you ahead of all these compounding legal troubles. To completely demystify this process, here is our roadmap for today. First, why your status matters. Second, what you will need. Third, a step-by-step online guide. Fourth, interpreting your results. Fifth, troubleshooting common issues. And finally, some final tips and a quick summary.
Section 1. Why your status matters.
Let's start by breaking down a really crucial distinction that the NDDOT makes. That's suspension versus revocation. Now, a suspension is essentially just a pause on your driving privileges. You don't necessarily have to retake your driving tests to get it back, as long as you meet the requirements and, serve any required time. But a revocation, that's a whole different ballgame. That means your driving privilege is completely terminated. To reinstate a revoked license, you are always going to have to serve a specific period of time, and you will absolutely have to pass both the written and road driving tests all over again. And remember, whether you're dealing with a severe suspension or a full revocation, you're looking at a maximum reinstatement fee of $100. This is what's required for serious infractions, like driving under the influence or driving under revocation. So yeah, the stakes are pretty high here, which is exactly why staying on top of your current status is so incredibly important. Moving on to Section 2, what you will need. Now, if you're feeling a bit anxious about jumping into some complicated bureaucratic process, let me just put your mind at ease right now. The requirements to check your status are refreshingly simple. For a basic status check, the barrier to entry is incredibly low. Literally, all you need is your specific North Dakota driver's license number and a computer or smartphone that's connected to the internet. That is it. No digging up complicated tax documents, no mailing in paper forms, just your ID number and a device. And this actually brilliantly illustrates how user-friendly the NDDOT has tried to make their online portal. Because you might be thinking, what if I don't know my driver's license number? Maybe you lost your physical card. Well, no problem. The NDDOT provides a super easy, actionable fix for that. You can just request a duplicate ID directly through their online services portal, and it's a fee of just $8. They'll mail it straight to the address they have on file, getting you back on track without you ever needing to set foot in a DMV office.
All right, Section 3, step-by-step online guide.
I'm going to guide you through exactly what you'll experience when you hit the portal. Step 1, you just open your web browser and go to the official NDDOT website. Right from the homepage, navigate over to the driver section and then look for Online Services for Drivers. Okay, step 2, you're going to scan down that page and click on the link that says Driver License Status Check. That's going to open up a very simple, secure form. Then, step 3, you will carefully type in your driver's license number. But hold on, before you hit enter, there is an absolutely critical formatting rule you have to know. This is a huge one, straight from the NDDOT system. You must enter your driver's license number with absolutely no hyphens and no spaces, just one continuous string of characters. If you include spaces or dashes, the system simply won't recognize your ID, and you'll get hit with a frustrating, completely avoidable error message. Nobody wants that. Which brings us to Section 4, interpreting your results. So, getting the result on your screen is only half the battle, right? Understanding exactly what it means is what truly matters here. Generally, you're going to see one of two main outcomes. First, if your status shows as active or valid, great news. You're legally cleared to drive in North Dakota.
But hey, just a quick reminder, make sure to double check the expiration date on your actual physical card, because driving with an expired card is still illegal. Now, on the flip side, if your status comes back as suspended, revoked, or withdrawn, you cannot legally drive. You literally need to stop driving immediately. You're going to have to take immediate action to resolve the issue. So the crucial point here is, if you are suspended, how do you find out exactly what you need to do to fix it? Well, the NDOT actually has a separate tool for this. It's called the Reinstatement Gateway, or formally, the Pay Reinstatement Fee and Outstanding Requirement System. Now, because this system reveals specific legal requirements tied to your identity, it naturally needs more security than just the basic status check. So to access this one, you'll have to input your full first and last name, your date of birth, your driver ID number, and the last 4 digits of your social security number. Once you plug that data in, the system is going to generate a customized list of your outstanding requirements, and it will tell you exactly how much your reinstatement fee is. And please pay attention to this vital rule for the gateway. You can definitely pay your fees online using a debit or credit card, but the NDDOT does absolutely not accept partial payments. Zero. You must be fully prepared to resolve the entire financial portion of your suspension in one single transaction.
Well, let's move to Section 5, Troubleshooting Common Issues.
Look, even with a really well-designed system, things can sometimes get a little confusing. Here is a very common and, frankly, very frustrating scenario. Let's say a driver knows they got into some trouble in another state, maybe over in Minnesota or Montana. But when they log into the North Dakota system, it doesn't show any outstanding requirements at all. So they might logically think they're completely clear to drive. But they aren't. So why doesn't that out-of-state suspension show up in the North Dakota Reinstatement Gateway? Now, what's really interesting about this side is that it highlights a major structural limitation of the portal. The North Dakota system only displays and resolves in-state issues, period. It does not provide any out-of-state requirements. So if your driving privileges are withdrawn in another jurisdiction, you just can't fix it through the NDDOT website. You actually have to contact that specific state directly, clear the withdrawal with them first, and only then will your North Dakota privileges even be eligible for return.
Another issue we see pop up a lot is drivers needing to see their actual driving history, not just their current status. Now, the NDDOT offers 2 distinct types of records. First, there's the limited record. You can buy this one online for $3, but it only shows your current points and violations from the last 3 years. It actually redacts older information and crash data. So if you need a deeper look at your history, you're going to need the complete record. This one also costs $3, but you cannot access it instantly online. Nope, you actually have to submit a specific form, SFN 51386, via snail mail or fax to get your full unredacted history.
Okay, we've reached Section 6, Final Tips and Summary.
Man, we have covered a lot of ground today. So here are your focused key takeaways for getting and keeping yourself legally and safely on the road. First up, routinely check your status online. It is fast, it's incredibly easy, and it completely prevents unwanted surprises. Second, have your exact North Dakota driver's license number ready. And please remember the golden rule: no spaces and no hyphens. Third, if you do find out you're suspended, immediately pivot over to the Reinstatement Gateway. Have your social security number ready so you can see your exact requirements. And finally, remember that North Dakota simply cannot fix another state's problem. You have got to clear those out-of-state holds first before you even try to reinstate an ND.
Now, we really want to empower you with all this knowledge, but I do need to give a quick important disclaimer. We are explaining the source material provided by the NDDOT, but of course, administrative procedures, fees, and policies are always subject to change. So always double-check with the official NDDOT resources directly at .nd.gov, or, seek professional legal guidance for your own unique situation.
Well, I hope this guide has thoroughly demystified the NDDOT system for you. But, going through all this leaves us with a pretty provocative question. In an era of instant global digital communication, shouldn't state DMV systems finally be able to just talk to each other so you don't have to jump through all these out-of-state hoops? I'd love to know what you think. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, tell us what we should explain next, and definitely don't forget to subscribe for more practical, everyday solutions translated into clear, visual explainers. Thanks so much for learning with us today.